And to the first slides we go. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joony. I have been hosting our Monday night sessions for about a good half a year now. And I started with our Monday night sessions talking all about what KOK is, this wonderful platform and ecosystem, cryptocurrency ecosystem from South Korea. But because of all the changes, I've made sure that I don't leave out any of the information that we talk about, not just KOK, but also K Stadium. So today it's really learning about the basics and the general understanding of KOK and K Stadium. So the entire ecosystem revolving around KOK. And again, the name is Joony. I am speaking to you live from the DA Group's headquarters in Toronto, Canada. And I host this every Monday nights. Welcome you all. Today, we're going to talk about mainly 4 things. And today, the first thing is the origin story, because I always like to talk about the why something was created and understanding the background and the reason that it's trying to solve all the problems that it is capable of solving. And then 2, exactly understanding what KOK is. It can be quite a mouthful to understand all of KOK and its platform and its surrounding ecosystem. So let me tear it down to its bare bones structure so you can understand where KOK fits in the whole ecosystem of cryptocurrencies and the current platform, and then tie it into our next point, which is by comparing KOK and K Stadium. And of course, finally, we'll talk about KOK, K Stadium together as an ecosystem that is going to be a part of your future. So with that, let's get started with the why it was created. And the why is actually quite simple. It's because of the Hallyu wave, or the Korean cultural phenomenon that has hit East Coast to West Coast, all across the globe, where everybody knows Korea because of its many cultural elements and, of course, non-cultural elements. For example, the many beauty products that you see on your local store, wherever you are in the world. And, of course, how everybody knew how to do the Gangnam style dance and how everybody has heard of BTS. Now, where I live in Canada, Hallyu can be summarized in its very, very brief and of course not encompassing all its achievements, like brief history timeline, where last year by 2021 November, there was a record-breaking streaming for Squid Game happening all across the globe by watching Netflix. So I'm sure you're one of the many of those people who've watched Squid Game during our COVID lockdown. But the reason why I mentioned to you all this is because there's something very common at the center of everything that I just spoke to you about. And what that common thing is K content. And the K-pop, K-drama, K-beauty, K-gaming, K-everything is in the center of everything that I just talked about. And thanks to COVID-19, the numbers of people, the number of eyes watching and consuming K content has dramatically increased over time. Now, if we look at all the digital content market, not just for the K content, it is booming all across the world. For example, in North America alone, we're expected to reach a $38 billion industry by 2030 and showing an annual growth rate of 16.2%. Now, what this number means, it's a 2-digit growth rate. A 2-digit growth rate in the market usually means it's either exploding or growing very rapidly. And that's exactly what we're seeing, a global growth in global content or digital content. Now, it only makes sense that if there was a global growth, that the wealth was also distributed all around the globe. But unfortunately, that's not exactly what happened. And the companies, or let's say the conglomerates or the enterprises that has really benefited through this digital content boom and COVID-19 are the market winners today that we call platform companies. And we also call them dinosaur companies. Why dinosaurs? Because they're so huge in size that no competitor will try to get in, will either be crushed or stepped on. And these are the platform companies we very well know: Netflix, Google with Play Store, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, now called Meta, with Instagram, Apple with their App Store, Amazon. These are the platforms that are smiling. And they're smiling so much because they're actually winning a game of Monopoly that we didn't even know that we were playing. And if you don't know about Monopoly, it's a game, a board game that you should never play with your friends, because everybody who's playing, except that one winner, will be continued to forced to continue to play and pay and play and pay until they go bankrupt and until that one person has complete monopoly. And these platform companies right now have this monopoly. And we, my friends, listening to this podcast or perhaps a video cast and stream on Zoom, we are losing. And I can give you a real world example. For example, let's watch Squid Game. The platform company Netflix, through Squid Game, in November alone made 1 billion Canadian dollar in earnings, whilst paying only 30 million Canadian to make Squid Game, meaning everybody else except the platform gained $30 million just the creation of everything that was encompassed to create Squid Game, while the platform amassed an insane amount of wealth. And this discrepancy is very, very well shown here. Excuse me. And this discrepancy got so bad that the South Korean government, a national body, had to step in, try to limit or control these platform companies, where they had to pass a bill to limit two of the many dinosaurs that I just spoke about, which is Google and Apple. Now, this is the origin story of KOK. It's to combat or to go against this monopoly creation of these platform giants who really created these machines where they will always benefit at the end, and the developers, the consumers, and literally everybody else except the platform company will not benefit as much. And they wanted to make it fair. And that they, my friends, started with the current KOK Foundation, and at the time CTO Dr. Young Choi, with his vision of creating a K platform for K contents that is fair and the assets and value are shared fairly, and the system can actually enable that. And that really is the very basics of KOK, which is a K platform for K contents. And this KOK looked exactly just to serve that when it launched in 2018 with its TV shows, game contents, webtoons, movies, all the K contents that we all wanted to watch, but a platform that wanted to become more fair and actually share the value of the platform amongst everybody, meaning the consumers and the content developers, and of course, the platform creators as well. But to enable a system like that, they had homework. And that homework is to actually have a system that can be an openly shared version of the platform companies where assets can be distributed in a fair manner. Well, we have that technology, but that technology is called blockchain technology, and only blockchain technology companies can actually achieve such a feat. Now, let me take a small break telling you about KOK and tell you a little bit about Medium. Medium, now called Meta M, is also a South Korean company, different than KOK, but they did something else than creating a platform. They created a software and hardware solution that together was able to achieve a world top tier level of 14,000 transactions per second. This means that this company was able to, though they are small at the time, was able to reach speeds that match global standards of what a top tier blockchain company can. But recently, they were able to double, triple, quadruple that speed almost to 50,000 transactions per second. Now, I'll tell you later why that's important. But what's important to note here is that this company called Medium, now called Meta M, was able to achieve the speed and the technology of world top tier levels in the blockchain world. And the reason why I'm telling you about this company while you're here to learn about KOK is because those two companies merged into one. And through the M&A, the KOK Contents Platform Company with its users was able to join in with a blockchain technology company called Medium, where they can finally make this happen. They can actually make a fair shared network through a decentralized blockchain solution and have a system that can enable the big data through the AI solution, where it can actually amass all the contents in its decentralized platform. Now, that's a lot to speak of, but to basically put it into a very, very short form, it's basically a merger between a platform company like Netflix or YouTube while utilizing the technology of a blockchain company, which is different than, let's say, Netflix and YouTube. And that is why, to put everything into one sentence, as simply put as possible, What is KOK? What is the KOK ecosystem? Well, it's a decentralized blockchain-based digital contents platform. And that's what KOK is. And this excited a lot of us, a lot of its early users, and definitely its early investors. Why two VCs or venture capitalists, these firms, Chain Capital and Kirin Fund to be exact, wanted to become seed investors to this vision KOK was bringing. And as you can see, they invest on blockchain infrastructures, decentralized finance technologies, and of course, they invest on the most ambitious blockchain companies, which is KOK. So because it is a platform, though, as it is growing after this investment has been given, it is still subject to its needs. And a platform requires very simple things, which is users, people like you and I. And without users, a platform is completely useless. And no pun intended there, we could have the best platform, we could have the best contents on the platform, but if there are no users, it's completely useless, defunct. So as KOK started in 2018, it's looked for its early users, or we call that the early user acquisition phase. And just traditional numbers alone, the average value added for a user is about $100 a month. But KOK was not traditional. The traditional model of a platform economy is this free service where the users are on the outside, but the service or the money always flows inward, meaning Uber and Airbnb, we are the drivers, we rent our homes, we're on the outside, the money always flows inwards. But when we decide to stop driving for Uber or stop renting for Airbnb, this connection is severed, leaving the very, very big middle and you completely out of the economy. And this is why the platform economy always created an unfair monopoly-based model, which is very happy for all these platform companies, but not very good for everybody else, and therefore not making it very sustainable. And this is why many companies, not just KOK, is looking for this next model of economy called protocol economy. And this economic model actually resonates very well with the Google-rated top futurist speaker, Dr. Thomas Frey, and he also envisions this protocol economy and that many companies in the future will go towards this protocol economy. And he actually sits as a technical advisor to the KOK Foundation because he actually sees that KOK is capable of creating this protocol economy through their fair share enabled model. And what I mean by that is because KOK created the KOK token to make it a fair shared enabled system. And what a KOK token is, it's a cryptocurrency, like every other cryptocurrency that you see in the cryptocurrency market. For example, the coin market cap, where it has all the data about the cryptocurrencies. You see its general trend, its token or coin form, its many markets that you can see. And just to point it out that there's about 20,000 different types of cryptocurrencies out there right now with over 500 exchanges. And KOK, out of the 20,000, it's already ranked top 200 and listed on the top 11 or 11 of the markets listed in CoinMarketCap. A pretty amazing feat. By looking at that alone, we can see that the KOK is like your average cryptocurrency. You can trade it, you can sell it, you can exchange it, and you can mine it like cryptocurrency. But if you're noticing a bit more carefully, you'll notice that KOK is so much more than your average cryptocurrency. It actually has an ecosystem of users that actually utilize the cryptocurrency as a currency on its app. So that means there's a direct relationship with the growth of the community to the growth of the token or the cryptocurrency. And this itself fits perfectly to what a protocol economy looks like and requires. And this is why KOK is very much the standard function of a protocol economy right now. But as you see on the very bottom, there's actually a third point here that says it has the technology to own its network. Now, what I mean by that is that there's actually a difference between a token and a coin. A token like the KOK token, or let's say the many tokens out there in the cryptocurrency world, actually 85% are tokens, are cryptocurrencies that do not own their own blockchain technology and instead borrow some other blockchain technology to exist. And when KOK started, they did not have Medium's help. They were by themselves only envisioning this future. So, of course, they borrowed this technology from the world's most famous borrowers of cryptocurrency, which is Ethereum, which is why the KOK token is still based on the ERC20 chain. But through its early, closed, and open beta that happened this year, it is able to become a coin utilizing Medium's technology. That's right, Medium technology that had its software and hardware functionalities now created the KOK Mainnet, where the KOK can actually have its own main network. My throat is getting very dry. And its KOK main network is actually what will allow the KOK to become a coin out of its token form. This is a very exciting achievement for KOK because it allows itself to become a glorified KOK cryptocurrency coin. And not only does it have its own main network, it has a main network from Medium technology that is able to reach a speed of 50,000 transactions per second. That is amazingly fast. What is TPS, or transactions per second? Imagine you're trying to pay for coffee and you're at the payment terminal and you're about to swipe or insert your chip or tap your card. Now, if TPS is low, you are in a line for many, many users of either that Visa or MasterCard who are trying to pay at the same time. And if TPS is low, you have to wait in line for a very long time. If TPS is high, a lot of the transactions can all happen within that second. But if you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, their TPS is extremely low. Now, Ethereum was able to go through its 2.0 upgrade recently, and it is still going through that full upgrade, and they'll be able to reach this TPS to a higher number. But Medium is already starting us with 50,000 transactions per second. This is going to be amazingly interesting, not only for us, but for other companies to borrow our network and become a token in the KOK mainnet. This is the future for KOK. Now, to envision that future, perhaps we require a new name. So keeping the name of KOK through its fair share enabled structure of the three pinnacle points of the crown and maintaining Medium's decentralized blockchain AI solution, they merged these two companies to sound such as K Stadium, a bigger playground. And this is why you can go to kstadium.io right now and look at all the information, download the new app of K Stadium, and check out the next steps of the KOK ecosystem. So K Stadium, KOK, all part of the same ecosystem. Whew. Now that was quite a mouthful. Now, what we covered so far is the origin story, which is to fight against the monopoly of the contents platforms or the dinosaurs. And that's why KOK exactly started as a K platform for K contents, but became a blockchain-based contents platform for all contents. But now it's time to talk about our third point, which is KOK versus K Stadium. Now that you've learned both of these names and where they come from, let's compare these two platforms as they are same in the same protocol economy, but different in function. And to understand this difference, we must go back in time just a little bit, where only one of these platforms existed, which is the KOK Play app or platform. Now, the KOK Play app had two functions. One, to create an ecosystem of digital contents platform users. Ecosystem of digital content users, a platform. So that was what it was trying to do on one side. But on the other side, it had this little fun added function called POS, or a proof of stake model, where you could actually invest in the vision of KOK and stake in a certain amount of KOK's worth into the KOK chain. And therefore, by doing so, receive a specific reward. And that could be a mining reward, level-based ranking reward, referral reward. And a lot of us took this as an investment opportunity, especially the year before and last year, and perhaps even still now. How we can differentiate KOK and K Stadium is as this. This investment opportunistic side is basically moving away from KOK Play and moving into K Stadium, where it is a far more suitable investment opportunistic side with its community pool model of not a POS, but a delegated POS, and not a POS, but a POI, meaning a delegated proof of investment model where you can delegate your not stake, but investment to a specific node operator, and they will create a decentralized autonomous organization that you'll be part of as an investor. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that in K Stadium, please join me on Thursdays where you can ask me any questions, or go to kstadium.io where all of the information that I'm speaking to you about K Stadium is listed on. But this is the main two difference between how to differentiate between KOK and K Stadium, which is our third point here. Two platforms, but together they actually create the one protocol economy. And that, my friend, is our last point of the day, which is why KOK and K Stadium is our future. Now, what I mean by that is by looking at these two applications or platforms side by side. As I told you, KOK Play is trying to become more of a content platform for its digital content users and watchers and consumers and developers, while in K Stadium, the investment platform exists. Now, what happens in the near future is that there's going to be an increase of users in the contents platform because more and more people will be willing to watch the many contents in the KOK Play app, especially through its free referral-based system that is about to get started. So that means more and more users will utilize the platform and therefore be subject to transaction fees or gas fees. And also, if more users gather or congregate in the KOK Play app, it was going to attract more sellers. And these sellers inside a decentralized system like a blockchain solutions are called decentralized apps. They will be want to create decentralized apps for its many users. They could be new games, new developed contents, anything that will live amongst the KOK ecosystem. And if it goes into the KOK Play ecosystem, they also are subjected to gas fees or investment rewards, as in they will have to pay a certain amount of KOK to get into its ecosystem. So the reason why this is exciting, because this gas fees, both of these gas fees and investment rewards are now going to be paid not in Ethereum, but in KOK. The amount of KOK in circulation here paid by the users and the apps are going to grow. And all of that KOK that is being transacted here is going to be given out as investment rewards to people of the community pool. And this is the full circle of this protocol economy of how KOK and K Stadium together work together to create a KOK protocol-based economy. It's quite a bit to understand all in one day. And so that's why I urge you to perhaps rewatch this video and try to follow me along and link these dots on how these two platforms work together. And then I urge you to join me on my Thursday sessions to ask me more questions. And you can ask questions about KOK, of course, and ask me questions a little bit more deep about K Stadium as well. But if you're the type, just like me, who wants to definitely do his own work and not take everybody else's word for it, but try to learn it your own, I welcome you to do so. Check out kstadium.io, its official website where you can download the K Stadium app, try it out yourself, and of course, read its white papers and its many helpful documentations there. And then let's take a small break, stop talking about K Stadium, and talk back about KOK. There are a lot of changes that has been announced since earlier this year, and we're already entering August, so I'm a little bit hesitant to tell you when exactly these changes are going to happen, but they are going to happen. So definitely don't be surprised or alarmed when they do happen. For example, the KOK Play app will require a Know Your Customer or KYC authentication. It will have a $5,000 limit on how much stake you can put on, and it will only allow you to increase your mining limit by creating either platform usage mileage points or new users mileage points. And which is the most exciting factor, which is last one, is through adding new users, you will be able to receive $100 worth US dollars worth credit to utilize on the system, where you can use it to mine, use it to increase mining limit, or of course, use it into the platform. This is basically like the free referral system that Uber used, which made Uber the world's best ride-sharing app right now, which is a free referral basis where credit was given for both the referee and the referred person that they can utilize in the app. A great way to increase users. And these updates that I'm telling you about are all listed in your app that is free to be downloaded right now. You can check it out by going onto the human icon at the top. Don't press invite, press announcement, and then check out all these new announcements. And one of those exciting new announcements is, of course, the iOS, the stable version of the iOS. I have been doing this presentation for so long, and everybody's like, when is the iOS stable version happening and running? It finally is. And I've tested myself. I got myself an iPad just to make sure that it works. And it does work. It works very well for both K Stadium and KOK Play. So check out those very newly stable version of the apps. So now you can check it out on the iOS as well. And to talk about the roadmap a little bit more, let's talk about where we're at. We're already on Q3 of 2022. What happened? This year flew by. Oh my gosh. Well, it did. But many things actually did end up happening this year as well. For example, in the KOK roadmap, they said on Q1 that they'll launch its closed beta, the Mainnet test, and it was very successful. And meanwhile, KOK was listed on Indodax and Gate.io. And as we enter Q2, the mainnet launched as an open beta form, and that's why you and I can join it right now in the K Stadium app. And we did the asset transfer promotions for the first and second. That is still kind of ongoing, but we got listed on Bybit. Very exciting stuff. And then Huobi Global as well. Actually, I should add that. So that's what happened as we enter Q3, where we have the stable version of the iOS version, where you can download the app and install it for both KOK Play and K Stadium. And at the end of this month, there's going to be a K Stadium forum, finally a place where we can speak to the KOK Foundation, speak of our questions, our worries, and of course, our general directive to the future of K Stadium as well as investors. Very exciting stuff. And of course, the K Stadium Bridge will become bi-directional. There'll be governance voting. And if all of this confuses you, check out more of kstadium.io, or of course, check me out on Thursdays. But what I really want to tell you is about what's going to happen on Q4 of this year, which is the launch of the decentralized exchange that will be able to handle KOK. This is super exciting because yes, we can definitely wait for ourselves to be listed on the many exchanges all across the world. But what if we can create an exchange that is not centralized around them, like Bybit, Binance, Coinbase, Bittrex, Gate.io, but centralized around us and running on a system created by us? Isn't that crazy? Well, that's about to happen at the end of this year. Very exciting stuff. And there's going to be a K Stadium investment management system that will allow us to better manage our investment in K Stadium as well. So a lot of new exciting things that are going to happen, changes to KOK Play and changes to KOK Stadium. But all of this is happening because we're in a straightforward path to reach what we want, which is a true protocol-based economy, or protocol economy / token economy, which is a permissionless model, meaning anybody and all the participants are enabled to incentivize to contribute to the network or the community. And when they contribute, not only is that given value to themselves, but given value to all. And this, my friends, is the true version of the next economy that KOK and K Stadium are bringing us in, that I urge you to take part as well. And that is my very long spiel. And a lot of you who are definitely not new to the KOK ecosystem, perhaps something that's been in your mind very recently is this point. The dropping price of KOK. Looking at the price every day is probably not good for your health. Definitely not good for your health because, my friends, we are in what's called a crypto winter, which is a very bearish market over and over again, where many of the cryptocurrencies are going downhill because perhaps in winter it's left lifeless. But we all know what happens after winter, right? And we're all kind of waiting for that recovery to happen, not just for our coin, but for, of course, for the whole cryptocurrency market. But I do want you to know that the company or the foundation is not just standing idly by watching this price of our wonderful KOK drop. They actually have a price recovery roadmap, which they have already started, which actually explains many of the things that I mentioned to you so far, which is, for example, allowing its free user referral system, dramatically increasing the number of users that can join in KOK, utilize the app. As they utilize the app, more and more people will want to exchange and utilize the KOK, which is the main currency for its platform. And if more people demand it, the price value will go up. Another thing that the foundation is planning to do and has been doing is by allowing more people to join in the community pool. As more people put their KOK into the community pool, it actually has a coin burning effect. It reduces the supply of the KOK out of circulation, which of course then increases the state price of KOK. Another thing that the foundation is willing to do is burn its amount of KOK token assets and therefore literally reducing the supply and, of course, increasing the price, so forth. So these are three of the many things that the foundation is doing right now and is willing to do much more of us, more for us, shall I say, in the price recovery roadmap. So I know we're all feeling it, but hang on. This is working right now. We still have to kind of go through this transition phase and, of course, go through its cryptocurrency winter. And there will definitely be a lot of chance for the price to recover. If you have more questions or want to learn more, definitely go onto our YouTube channel. Go on YouTube, search for DA Group K Stadium, click and subscribe to our channel, and all of this video, like tonight's video, will be up hopefully right away, where you'll be able to rewatch it at your free time. And of course, send it to your friends who are interested in KOK or K Stadium, who just wants to learn more. So definitely let them know that this channel exists. And with that, I say thank you very much for listening. I definitely made sure that tonight's talk was a bit fast. I wanted to make a very short clip for YouTube so that people can come in and listen to. I'm going to stop the presentation there. So thank you for listening.